there's this quote that I really love a lot where it says, man will never find God because he's not willing to go low enough or search low enough. And that reminds me of the gym. People hate regress stuff. They hate it. So if I tell somebody, like, lunges are awesome, I'll tell someone lunges are great for you to do, right? And I'll say, hey, let me see you do a lunge. And they go, okay. And they go, let me see, go ahead and try to do a lunge. And they'll go. Right? Nothing wrong with that. That's fine. All you got to do, if you have multiple spots that you can touch, it makes it so much easier. We had a guest on the show, I forget who said it. Let's say you got 3 points of contact, then you're going to be winning. It's going to be easier to do an exercise correctly. So now we got 1, 2, 3. 3 being the feet. So now I can go here, and as I go into my lunge, I can go, and I can use, hopefully it'd be something more stable than this, but just as an example, boom, here. And it'll get a lot easier. You want to try to master it a little bit more, and you want to only use one thing, you go here. Boom. Like, what makes this, like, why don't people want to regress? Why don't they want this regression in their life? Regression is going to equal progression, progress. Boom, here. Boom, here. If you didn't have anything to grab or whatever, sometimes you see people use like a stick or something like that, but you can also just use your own body. So you go here. I'm now kind of blocking some of that load, some of that energy, and pushing off. The same way someone might go and push off to stand up, right? Box squats are so sick too, though, because the balance is already kind of incorporated for me. I don't really need anything. All I have to do is sort of reverse engineer sitting down. So usually, like, a normal person would come to this and they would sit down kind of like this, right? So now all we got to do is, okay, we got to reorient where your feet are, because we don't want your feet to be behind your knees in a box squat. And in this case, it'd be nice to get the feet a little flatter, although we could squat on our toes too if we wanted to. But now we're here, and now we just push the knees out, and now you get here, and if you need a little support, you can do this. You could be holding onto a band or something that's attached to a rack if need be. Or you can start to learn how to do this. Or if you needed to, you could use your hands. If you wanted to make it a little plyo-ish, throw a little hop in there. But this is so safe. This is such a good movement. But yet people don't want to do it because they see people, the ass to grass squat. The ass to grass squat is great. But I would like to see people do that movement more as a movement where you're just not using a lot of weight. So ass to grass, for me, just getting as low as I can. Have something you can put your feet up on. We have slant boards and all that stuff here too, but it could be anything. 10-pound plate, a little bit of a ledge. You have a kettlebell, and you're here. You try to keep the back flat, and you do your squats. Wait, why am I promoting a full range of motion squat? Well, because it is nice to get that stretch, and it is nice to possess some of that mobility. But remember what I said earlier. You're giving up positioning. So my back is going to tuck under. All this stuff is going to happen when I go to do this movement. But that's why I'm only doing it with 12 kg. This weight is light. Okay? Even if I wanted to try to grab a bigger one, that's 12. There we go, 16, a little heavier. And also just a larger kettlebell. So you can hold it really whatever way you want, whatever feels good. Kind of pass it out in front of you. If you look at me from the side, like this is pretty good like depth to be able to hang out down here. Now this is something I can practice, mainly just for hip mobility, not thinking like that I'm going to be able to progress to squat that low all the time. Sometimes just moving the kettlebell around make you feel better, feel different to you. Stuff like that. That's how I do my squats, because people do argue back and forth all the time about the depth and how low you're going on some of these movements. Even something like a lunge, where you got Ben Patrick, knees over toes. Ben will do a lunge. He'll do kind of a crazy looking lunge. And for me, he's so mobile, I kind of need support almost to do a really good lunge. I probably don't need that box, but almost like use this band as something to help me. And as I step in, I can now get into these Ben Patrick positions. See, I can open up. I can push that back leg behind me, and the band assists me. Bigger and fatter you are, and or weaker, maybe the larger band you use. But guess what? This feels awesome. But unfortunately, people don't like regressions. Oh, I'm fine. Oh, no, I'm just going to do it this way. Oh, no, I'm fine. Watch. Oh, I'm going to do my push-ups like this. I don't need to use a slingshot. I'm just going to do my push-ups like this. Three, 4, 5. It's absolutely ridiculous. Regress the work that you're doing. Bring it down a notch. Slow down when you're trying to go fast. The easiest way to regress a push-up, not necessarily to throw on a slingshot, although that's a great tool. That will allow you to handle some reps. But here's the best thing you can do. I'm calling people out. I'm calling actual people out. I see women, and I see young boys always doing push-ups like this. It's just crazy to me. I can't even believe it. I can't even believe how bad of an attempt it is at doing a push-up. When you're 6 or 7 years old, okay. As you get to be older, bring your hand down under your shoulder. When your hand is under your shoulder, it's going to kind of start to feel, or close to under your shoulder, it's going to kind of feel like you're going to die from this position. And you're kind of like, oh! And you're like, shit, how do I get up from here? But the easiest way to do a push-up regression is to start all the way down from the ground. Man will never find God because he's not willing to search low enough. Get low. Get low. You'll find all the secrets to life right here on the floor. Get really low. So now I'm going to do my push-up, and I'm going to do it the way a push-up was meant to be. And I'm going to try to push with everything I have, and I'm going to let the pieces of my body come up in whatever order they come up, because maybe I'm not good at push-ups yet. So here we go. 1. 2. 3. Maybe that's what you can handle for the day, and maybe you do like a power lifter and do a 3x3. 3 sets of 3, 5 sets of 3, 10 sets of 1, 10 sets of 2, because eventually you'll be able to do them. And you want a little bit more assistance, then you can throw on a slanger. I'm not as big and jacked as I used to be, but still an XL, a little snug. We also sell the slingshot push-up as well, which is a little bit thinner, a little bit easier to get on. Now we go down in here. And again, I still say start from the bottom. Started from the bottom. Now we here. Boom. get down back to the bottom, start from the bottom. And the slingshot is like got me hovering. So now I just push my toes into the ground and I straighten out. Back down to the ground. Have your mom, your grandma, your 10-year-old nephew, have them trying to do their push-ups like that. But no one wants to regress. No one wants to just take this, like, do it the right way. Like, learn how to do the movements. Learn how to do the movements the correct way. And a lot of times, it unfortunately requires a regression. We've had people come in here before, and they've shown Nsima and I stuff. And mainly the regressions are usually for me, but Nsima sometimes has to take a step back from what it is that someone's asking us to do. Because they are so strong and they are so good at what they're doing. They also have been doing it for decades upon decades. So regress your stuff, hork on a slingshot, do your push-ups the right way. Don't forget to kind of start from that bottom position and just push up whatever you can. Over time, you're going to be able to do an actual regular push-up. You could also work on your eccentric too. So you can go, I'd rather see people working on this right here any day of the week over this. This is not going to do really much of anything for you. You'll be able to do that always and forever, and that's probably a safe movement. It's not really effective for much. Maybe it's getting a little tricep, maybe it's getting a little shoulder, but it's not going to progress you to be able to actually do the movement. So toggle back and forth between getting in here, getting down to the ground, pushing yourself off the ground in whatever pieces and chunks your body comes up. It's okay if you're crooked and sideways and whatever else. And also, maybe occasionally work on just the lowering. Maybe like a 3-second lowering. You go here. 1, 2, 3. Okay, and then back up. 1, 2, 3. And I guess you don't look like everybody else. You're not doing it the same way as everybody else, but over time, you'll be able to do it like everybody else, and you'll be able to do it probably better than some other people. So give that shit a shot.